Alright, in this video we're going to keep going with our JSON web token where we left off creating one if we were creating a new user. We had the token signed and we resaved the user, and then we're going to call it done. Just like that, with null and an empty object. And below it, this is basically an else condition, but we don't need an else because we're exiting with the done. Ignore this user ID for 1 second. We're going to say new token is jwt.sign. ID is the user _ ID this time because we already have a user in our database. Same key of jwt.secret, same expires in. And then we'll say user.jwt is the new token, and then we'll save the user, and then we'll call it done. Now this user ID, I declare it up top as a var. And then if we don't have a user after we save it the first time, I'm going to set it equal to save user _ID. And then if we do have a user down here, I'm going to save it as the user _ID. And finally, down at the bottom on our redirect here, the Google redirect, I'm going to redirect, instead of to just the home component, I'm going to direct to /user /user ID like that. And we're doing this so we can look up the user on the front end using that parameter. So in our models index, not models index, wrong one. In our client, in our roots index, go down to our switches, and we're going to say roots path equals /user / user ID, and component we'll call it user landing. We'll back up at the top. I guess we can move this menu up here by the list, or just up higher. That way, keep our local download or local imports separate. Import user landing /user landing, and create a new file in our roots directory, and we're going to call it userlanding.js. And we'll import React from React. Also import components. We'll say class user landing extends components. Render method, return, and we'll export default user landing down here. And now we're going to import GQL from GraphQL tag. And we're going to import something from React Apollo. And that something is GraphQL higher order component. Down here, we're going to say const. going to say const user by ID query equals GQL. And we'll say query. And we're going to put in a user ID. That's going to be a type ID. And we're going to say get user by ID. And so user ID is $user ID. And from that, we're going to return the username, JWT, and image URL. Down here at the bottom, we'll say GraphQL. Put both these in parentheses here. And we'll put our query right here. We'll say user ID query. Well, then we'll say comma, and we're going to put in an options object here. So we're going to say options. And then we're going to make that, you can make that a function of props. And inside of there, we'll say variables. That's another object. And we'll say user ID. And that's going to be props dot match dot params dot user ID. Just like that. And here, we're going to say const equals this dot props. I say const loading and get user by ID equals this dot props. And here we're going to say if loading, return null. And here, for now, we're just going to return a div with get user by ID. I'll just say dot username. Okay, so that's the start of the front end for that. And of course, we're going to have to go to the back end and create this query before we can use it. We can probably get started on it real quick before the end of this video. So we want to go to our schema for the user. Oh, actually, we already have that one. Cool. Get user by ID. Takes the user ID. Yep. Returns a user. Let's see. Root UID models. Wait. Models that user.find by ID. User ID. Oh, perfect. We already got it. And let's console.log our get user by ID here. Looks like we got some kind of problem.